Everybody, Questwise here, and today I want to talk about this. It's been a very nostalgic day for me today. I was looking for something else. So to preface this whole thing, if you're watching this, it's the 28th of May, just after Memorial Day. And I had just finished the weekend being at Cherry Capital Comic-Con, or C4, which is my local comic book convention, comic book pop culture convention. And it's a weekend I look forward to every year. I love it. And this year I had run a big demonstration game or demos of Marvel Zombies, the board game by Cool Mini or Not. And had to go to work yesterday, but it's cool. Had today off instead after having a 3-day weekend. And I started to instantly think about what I wanted to do for next year. It always happens every year. How I could top what I've done this year. What could I bring to the convention next year, and the game room and the gaming experience. And I don't even remember what I was looking for, but I was looking through some boxes that were in storage, and I came across this. Before I knew it, several hours had passed, and it was just me flipping through this. And I realized I hadn't done anything around the house yet. So I ran out and mowed the lawn real quick. Semantics. But I wanted to talk to you about this and why this hit me as hard as it did today. This is a binder, as you can see, a 3-ring binder. And back when I started playing Dungeons & Dragons, or Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, this is how we got our monster. This was our monster manual. It was a 3-ring binder that came with a bunch of sheets of monster stats and dividers with fantastic artwork on them. And you could, what was great about it was it was expandable. So you could go to the store. I didn't have a local gaming store. For me, it was Walden Books in a mall. And you could buy, trying to get it open here so I can show you a little bit. You would buy packs of these sheets. Right? So this is the Great Cat stats. So it has statistics for cheetah, jaguar, leopard, common lion. You get it. You would buy packs of these, and sometimes they were themed to different worlds. So, like, some of them were generic, some of them were Forgotten Realms, some were Dragonlance, some were Ravenloft, etc. Planescape. And this is how we collected our monsters, our monster manuals, Monsterous Compendium. I'd kind of forgotten about this. Later on in the life of 2nd Edition D&D, they came out with a book that collected a lot of this stuff. But this was the way I remember getting my monsters, my creatures, for games of 2nd Edition AD&D. And I'd almost kind of really, I don't want to say forgotten about it. I still knew it existed. I guess I kind of forgot that I owned it. And I spent several hours flipping through it today. And it was a trip down memory lane, but it was also a very nostalgic trip. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know that I am a language nerd. I studied history and languages in college. And the word nostalgia is an interesting word. It's a combination of two words. And it really means the pain of going home. Roughly translated, the pain of going home. And I've always found that really interesting because we think of nostalgia as thinking back fondly on things. But the word itself really means aching of the days gone by that we may never recapture. And as I looked through this with a smile on my face and tears in my eyes, it reminded me of the fact that sometimes when you encounter something, sometimes when you learn something, sometimes when you are part of something, there's a sort of magic to that first time experience of something that's very, very magical. And oftentimes when you go back to try to recapture that magical feeling, it's just not there anymore. And it takes time. You may have heard that, time heals all wounds. Well, it's very true in the fact that sometimes when you go back to try to capture the magic of those moments when you first experience something, it's not there anymore. The first time you experienced a sunset, the first time you experienced playing Dungeons and Dragons, the first time you experienced mowing lawns to go buy a player's handbook, when you sometimes now go to do those things, that magic is sort of gone. But I found that, and that's really the sort of the magic of what nostalgia can be, not magic, the sort of pain that nostalgia can be, that you've lost that magic feeling. But I found that over time, having almost forgot about this thing, having forgotten parts of me that I actually even owned one of these, and this is my original. I mean, you can see there's a lot of extra stuff in here, but I felt that magic again. And that's what in a blink of an eye, 2.5 hours had passed. And as I just dove through these and read through monster stats and creature abilities, that there's that ability that you can recapture that magic, that special feeling of something that you once really, really loved. And I think it just took some time away from the game. If you've been a follower of the channel for a while, you may know that I haven't posted a lot of videos lately, or if I have, they've been very sort of chaotic. It's kind of scattered ruminations of things that don't really pertain to what the channel originally was. And it's because I lost that feeling, that magical connection with the game. And today I was able to re-experience that for a little bit, and it was really, really fun. And I've gotten to a point in my life where I prefer things to be a little bit more immediate. I don't want to spend days and hours preparing campaigns and storylines and writing up stats for things. And it's not really how I ran games of D&D anyway, but I just don't feel like I have the time to do those things anymore. I don't really have the time to design scenarios or adventures or to write fiction. And it's not really a bad thing. I just have a job now that takes a lot of my time, and when I have days off, I do things like I play, card games solo. So Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror, things that I can just play for a couple of hours while I have the house to myself on certain days off. But today, sitting down with this, I've it's almost rekindled that spark. Like there was an ember still there within me that hadn't been quite extinguished yet, and there was a sort of kindling of something there that sort of reignited my excitement for this game. And as I thought about what I want to do, and I found over time that role-playing games generally don't work well at conventions, especially comic book conventions, right? Pop culture conventions, because people are there to experience other things, and they don't want to sit down, unless they've come specifically for that purpose, they don't want to sit down and waste 2 to 4 hours playing a role-playing game. When you go to a gaming convention, you kind of expect that. I don't have a gaming convention in my hometown, per se. But pop culture, comic book conventions, people want to go and they want to experience things. So that's why I ran Marvel Zombies, because I could teach it in about 10 minutes and we could play through a game in about 30 minutes to an hour. It seemed pretty fair to people. Role-playing games are a little different. And as I began to sort of explore what I wanted to do next year for this convention, I thought maybe it would be fun to do a sort of dynamic miniatures game, right, on a tabletop where myself and a few other people would be playing the game, and people could come up and watch us play. And if they showed a lot of interest, maybe we could toss them into a role, let them take over a couple of units and do some stuff where they wouldn't feel like they were trapped to play for several hours. They could play for 30 minutes and then go about their way and still feel like they had an experience. But a part of me really wants to bring back and try to share the magic that I once and have now rekindled for its 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. And I know this game gets poo-pooed on a lot, right? Like the THAC0 thing, the 2-hit armor class 0, puts a lot of people off. But back when I started playing this, that's all we had, so it didn't seem like it was that cumbersome. Now I could run 5th edition. I totally could. I could run whatever this next new edition is going to be, 6th edition or whatever they're going to be calling it. I could, but I feel like I couldn't give it quite the justice that I could with the excitement that I had for 2nd edition. And I'm trying to find a way that I can share those with people without burdening them with a 4-hour session of D&D, unless that's what they came specifically to experience. So if you have any thoughts on ways that I could share my experience of this nostalgic game, this old school game, please pop them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts would be. But I just wanted to quick jump on here and just share with you that sometimes the pain of going home, that nostalgic feeling, can be rekindled and can be recaptured in a product that maybe you haven't seen in a while. And what's great about this kind of stuff is that most of the stuff is available over on DriveThruRPG now. A lot of it is print on demand. You can actually have physical copies if that's what you enjoy, because that's what I enjoy. I don't enjoy I don't mind reading through PDFs, but I hate using PDFs at the table. It might be just the old school gamer in me that I want to have a book, I want to have the paper, I want to feel the dice and stuff in my hand when I'm playing, but I don't enjoy using a laptop or a PDF at a table, and it's fine if then I realize that that's the way that the sort of modern world is going, and I'm excited that people are very excited about playing Dungeons and Dragons again. It makes me feel cool, right? The days when it wasn't cool to play, that's when I started. But I really enjoyed it, and it was one of those things that I looked forward to every moment of every day. And it's exciting to me, and it brings me a lot of joy to see people who really, really enjoy those things now, and that it's a cool thing to do. But I would love to try to share with people the excitement I had when I had this in my hands for the very first time, or the joy that I found when I had it in my hands again today. So short video. I plan on probably jumping back into some more of this soon. I'm not sure how often I will continue to post things like this, but I really like to try to reignite these videos, and I know many of you have reached out to me and said that you've enjoyed the videos I've done in the past and you'd love to see more of them. And I apologize to all of you who are looking for that type of thing and have come to my videos more recently and have found things that have been very sort of chaotic and strange. But today I just wanted to say that my love for this type of thing has really been reignited. I know I keep saying that, rekindled, reignited a lot in this video, but it's one of those things that that's what it really feels like a flame has been rebirthed in my excitement for this type of product. So until next time, I'm Questwise. My friends, please, as always, stay safe and game on.